things that only locals know about Windsor, Ontario. If you're moving here, this is going to be very helpful to you because there are things that you probably just don't know because you don't live here. Like the rivalry that we have with this one other city nearby. A lot of Windsorites hate this other place. Also, okay, like the best spots to live, like I'm talking like the nooks and the crannies of the city that only the locals know about. We're going to touch on some of that, all right? My name's Ryan. I'm a real estate agent. I live in this city. I know it like the back of my hand. I'm telling you. If you need some help moving here, you have any questions, that's my phone number. Feel free to call me. Okay, number one, some of the best places to live are not even in the city of Windsor, technically. This area is pretty big, and it's made up of so many great little spots. Like if I tell you Kingsville or Amherstburg or Bell River or Tecumseh or LaSalle, like those are some premium spots to live. I think everyone will agree. And none of them are technically Windsor. They're all their own city. That's kind of what this area is. It's a million different cities kind of made up, and we call it all Windsor sometimes, but it's not technically all Windsor. So Kingsville's a small town of like 10,000 people. It's right on the shores of Lake Erie. It's a beautiful town. It's hard to find a bad street to live on. What I really like is right here. You see like Linden Beach area where you get like Ryde and Cottage Grove and Lawndale. These are some really affordable raised ranches, and you're like a 2-minute walk from a small little beach where you can like launch a kayak or something into the water. Pretty great. Also, these streets right along here, these are all beautiful, secluded, quiet streets with old, mature trees. Really nice place to live. Bell River's essentially the same thing, except it's more of a beach town because it's on a smaller lake. This is Lake St. Clair. You're probably going to do more stuff in Lake St. Clair than Lake Erie. But also, like, Sunsplash is a Bell River festival every year. They've got, like, Sea-Doo competitions and stuff like that. Like, it's a really cool spot. It's a really nice vibe in this quiet beach town of Bell River. Amherstburg's cool because they have, like, a beautiful little downtown that's kind of historic. They got a historic park there, old buildings, lots of little shops with frozen yogurt and ice cream. It's a great place to spend a summer afternoon, and there's usually festivals all summer long, music performances, old car shows, stuff like that. And then, of course, you've got Tecumseh and you've got LaSalle, which are like suburbs of Windsor, but they're not really of Windsor. They're their own cities. They're fantastic spots as well. Oh, by the way, there's one city nearby that Windsorites hate. Like, it's like a rivalry. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. First, I need to talk about food. Seriously, Windsor has the best food in Ontario. And that's going to sound crazy because most people think Toronto, right? Because it's so big. And sure, Toronto's going to have some nice restaurants. But yeah, if there's a million restaurants, a couple are going to be good. But you want the most amazing restaurants per capita, it's Windsor. The food here is crazy. On Erie Street, right down here, it's called Little Italy, and there's a bunch of Italian restaurants. We had huge Italian immigration in like the 60s, right? And so there's a lot of good food here. Listen, I went to the real Italy this past summer, and I had the food, and it was good food. But you know what I thought to myself? You know, it's nothing I can't get in Windsor. I know, you think I'm insane, but trust me, ask a local. The food in Windsor is fantastic, and it's not just Italian, all right? It's literally every ethnicity. The best burger I've ever had in my life was at The Dot in Windsor. Some people like Mammo Burger, but they're a little bit more like crazy, like macaroni and jalapeno poppers are on your burger. I don't like that. I like the classic street food style burger, and I've never seen it done better than The Dot in Windsor. Saigon House and Basil Court, amazing Thai food. Tacos, El Dorado or El Diablo, both amazing. Non-traditional tacos, you got to go to Grand Cantina. For brunch, you got to go to the Twisted Apron. There's also the Barrel House, Sandwich Brewing, and Rock Bottom. All of them are in Sandwich Town on the West End. Anywhere you go, there's amazing food in this entire city, okay? Trust me. This is some of the best spots in Ontario right here for food. My name's Ryan, by the way. I know everything about this city that there is to know about the Windsor area. If you need help finding a place to purchase, feel free to give me a call. That's my phone number right there. I'm a real estate agent. I know what I'm doing. I can give you a hand. I've helped literally hundreds of people relocate from other parts of Canada and the world, to be honest with you, into the Windsor region. So if you need help, I can just shoot me a text. My number's right there, okay? So the third thing that only locals know about Windsor is Windsorites hate London. Ontario, of course, not England, but it seems to be this rivalry between these two people. And when I say hate, I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but it all stemmed from the Windsor Spitfires and the London Knights. These are two really good Ontario hockey teams that play each other all the time because they're just a short drive down the 401 from one another. And listen, I've been to Memorial Cup playoff games between London and Windsor. You do not want to be wearing a London Knights jersey in Windsor during the Memorial Cup. Like, you get berated, and it's all in good fun. People are yelling at you, teasing you. I've seen people throw popcorn at one guy. They weren't bullying him, so to speak, but they were letting him know, hey, wrong territory, buddy. Windsor is this like down-to-earth blue-collar city with a lot of auto workers, and London is more like the white-collar workers. So there was always this little bit of like, look at those pretentious people up in London, think they're better than us. I think there's less of this now that this city has grown so much. It's not just native Windsorites here anymore. It's people from the Toronto and GTA area. So it's kind of tampered down a bit, but still, there is still that London-Windsor rivalry that continues. Recently, I was on vacation and I was talking to somebody from Montreal, and they were so blown away by this one thing about Windsor. I forget, if you're not local, you might not think of this. That is next. Also, the coolest spot in Windsor we're going to talk about as well. Number 3, a night out on the town is often in Detroit. Yeah, sometimes you want to shake things up and you want to go to the big city. Luckily for us, we don't have to drive to Toronto like a lot of people in Ontario that might be in St. Catharines or Hamilton area. No, we just hop over the border to Detroit. I literally do this all the time, and I'll run into Windsorites while I'm in Detroit, more so, it seems like, than when I'm like at the mall in Windsor. Like, I was out in Detroit recently, and I ran into like 3 different people that I knew from Windsor. This happens all the time. So I went over recently for Painting with a Twist. It's like this paint night thing where you can sip some wine and an instructor shows you how to paint. Look at this. Is mine not better? Here, look. She's going to hate that I'm doing this, but comment down below which one's better. It's definitely this one, right? Right? Anyway, there's lots to do over in Detroit, okay? You could go over for sporting events like the Detroit Red Wings or the Lions. In the summer, they've got like the Grand Prix over on Belle Island. Frankenmuth is like this German town. It's supposed to look like literally Bavaria. It's kind of cool, and they have this store that's Christmas 24/7, 365 days a year. It's called Bronner's. That's a pretty cool place to go visit around the holidays. They got jazz festivals. They got great restaurants. It seems like there's always something cool going down in Detroit. And of course, like, big concerts like Taylor Swift and Luke Bryan and all those people that are really big and famous happen over there all the time as well. So you just quickly hop over the border. It's also super quick. To be honest with you, like, waiting at the border is usually like 2 minutes and you're through. When they see Windsor on your passport, they usually just ask you where you're going. Say, I'm going to the mall. They go, cool, and you're through. Not much to worry about. Okay, and last but not least, we've got Walkerville. Locals know about Walkerville. Walkerville's this like super trendy, artsy neighborhood in Windsor. This is a historic area where a lot of the homes were all designed by this like well, not just one, but multiple famous architects back in like the late 1800s. There's some beautiful streets with beautiful homes, and then the main strip, they've got lots of fantastic restaurants I've mentioned before, like the Grand Cantina and Twisted Apron and Vito's Pizza. It's an Italian restaurant. It's all really nice. Also, they shut down the street in the summers, and they have like big night markets, these festivals that happen. Vendors are out selling food, selling drinks, selling all sorts of different things. They've got beer festivals that happen there. Like, again, they shut down the street, or big, giant parking lots they shut down and have local musicians play. It's a fantastic spot. If you want to be near all the cool stuff happening in the city, a lot of people choose to live in Walkerville. So there you go. Those are 5 things that only locals know about Windsor, and you now, I guess. That's my phone number on the screen. If you are moving to this area and you need some help buying a place, or you just need some information about Windsor, do not hesitate. Give me a text or give me a call. That's my phone number right there.